And people often feel demoralized or demotivated because they think they're not doing it well enough. Just remember, every personality that Krishna came in contact with, including Kamsa and Aghasura and Trinavarta, and who's the baby killer? What did Putana do? Chant 16 rounds? Not really. So we can take advantage of the offer the Srimad-Bhagavatam gives, which is to take shelter of Krishna. Anybody here for the first time ever at our Hare Krishna movement? Welcome. We're really happy to have you here. This is unusual timing because tomorrow is Gaura Purnima. It's a full moon. Here there's going to be an eclipse also. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it, but the New Year starts tomorrow for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. But that's not the reason that we're celebrating, although that is pretty nice to get 2 New Years, to start over. If you didn't like the first quarter. But it's the appearance day of Krishna in the form of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. It's highly significant because Krishna, being interested in finding out why his devotees enjoy so much and how they're satisfied by seeing him, comes as a devotee so he can experience it for himself. And in the process of doing so, he teaches how to do devotional service. What's more, he delegates the process of teaching to the most competent people, those who have come to assist him, like Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis, and Jiva Goswami, and there are great acaryas who have carried on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya over hundreds and hundreds of years until it's available to us today, right here in Silicon Valley, Omaha, Nebraska, up and down the eastern seaboard. People are practicing in Iran, people are practicing in Africa, all over the world. And it's coming down through a chain of teachers who make it available to everyone in the world. And really, this is something to celebrate, and that is that the marketplace is open. I mean, oftentimes we run into situations where we want something and you look it up on Amazon Prime and you find out that it's no longer available. Don't you hate that? I know I do. So what do you mean they went out of business? I thought they were doing fine. And in a similar way, the product, the greatest product that one can get is bhakti, devotional practice for worshiping Krishna. And sometimes it seems unavailable in the world. There are times at which those who are deeply devoted find themselves seemingly alone. Of course, we're never alone because Krishna's there within the heart. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. That those who are sincere, to those who are sincere, and they are looking for me, then I'll inform them from within their hearts. Nonetheless, we find before the appearance of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, devotees like Haridas Thakur and Śrī ācārya, who were praying for the Lord's descent. And we also find later on, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was a deficit, and the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were not readily available. Even the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, which was the ultimate of all teachings of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and the synthesis of the Srimad-Bhāgavatam, was not readily available, so much so that Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, the great ācārya, was looking for the Caitanya-caritāmṛta and could not find a single copy anywhere. And the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been not just obscured, but also perverted in many different ways. So we can't take for granted that that the product is available. But now it is. And that's due to the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Lord Nityānanda, and the devotees who have carried on the tradition. This morning on an early walk, hoping to see the sunrise, it was beautiful, painted sky. I was thinking of I don't know if it's a lyric or just an idiom from the modern American society, be true to your school. Is it a lyric from a song? It sounds like Beach Boys or something. It is? Really? Okay, well, that's Shastric. Being true, I was thinking what a school is. A school is some consolidation of knowledge meant to uplift us. That's really the idea. Humans have an urge for that. They want to be in a place where they can take advantage of all the best knowledge the world has to offer. And nowadays it's become a little more vocationally oriented. But previously classical education had to do with bringing all the best books, teachings together and teachers in one place. That's what universities were for, to get well grounded in knowledge, get an idea, a wider context and view of the world and so forth. And then as one has a grounding in knowledge, one can also discern what's the best. That's the idea of Vedanta. There's knowledge and there's the end of knowledge. Of course, if one just studies endlessly and never comes to a conclusion, there's ways in which people say, when are you going to graduate, or when are you going to finish? You get a doc and then a postdoc, and then what do you do after that? I don't know. We're not meant simply to study endlessly and come to no conclusion. Even Socrates, Plato talked about coming to an ultimate conclusion. It's not that we just break everything down and are fascinated by the process, but there should be a development of character. That's more Aristotle. But there's a way in which we should also discern what's the purpose of life and what should we be aiming for as human beings, something to aim for. So all that comes to bear in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But what's most unusual and fantastic about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who we're celebrating today and tomorrow, is that he and Lord Nityānanda and the Panchatattva, which is a marvel in and of itself, the concept of the Panchatattva, and that is that God comes in various features to show his relationships and to relish them and to teach them to the world, but also to take Vedanta and put it into a form that can be consumed by anyone, anywhere. And it's the best in marketing. It's the best marketing has to offer, the packaging of the teachings of bhakti, put into a neat package that anyone can take. And Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura exalted that process and that facility that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityānanda afforded the world. So we're going to start today by singing a song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura about the marketplace of the holy name. And it has the refrain, Koda Nitai. And it's a glorification of Lord Nityānanda. You see, Krishna himself, as is described in the Shastra, is the fountainhead of all other energies, what to speak of all other incarnations of Krishna. We sing the Dasavatar Stotram. Everyone knows that. If you've ever been to a Bharatanatyam recital, or at least a few, then the chances are high, due to the law of large numbers, that you've seen the performance of the Dasavatar Stotram in dance. Yes or yes? Yes. Do you remember all the mudras? Then you haven't seen it enough times. You got to keep going back till you get all the mudras down. And that song, oftentimes people listen to it and they say, well, where's Krishna in this song? Well, Krishna is the avatari. Avatari means the source of all the avatars. This is about the prominent avatars, or some of the prominent avatars, but Krishna's avatari. And this is the pronouncement at the outset of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, that Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. Now, his first expansion, and we talk about expansion, Krishna is one. There is no other. However, because he's all-powerful and he has unlimited energies, he expands himself into other features of himself for his own enjoyment. And a question my godbrother Sridhar Swami used to ask people is, would you rather, now I know this is probably an outdated thing, so don't mind, but would you rather be a sugar cube or eat a sugar cube? And I couldn't fit stevia anywhere in that. So, would you rather be a bottle of stevia or taste it? I know people don't eat sugar anymore, right? No, it's just me. Okay, so Krishna expands himself into many features. And the first expansion is Balaram. Balaram is the intimate servant of Krishna. And similarly, in the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, with the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, he also expands himself as Balaram. He's called Nityānanda. And Nityānanda becomes the main champion of the cause of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Seemingly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reticent about presenting himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Nityananda Prabhu, therefore, announces it to the world, that this is Krishna himself who's appeared. In fact, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission was to spread the Yuga Dharma, teach people about Krishna. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koto Krishna Shikha. He told his associates to go out and teach Krishna consciousness to others by chanting Hare Krishna, worshiping Krishna, and teaching what Lord Krishna taught, for instance, in the Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Nityananda, although he was ordered to do that, went out and he taught everybody to chant Gauranga. Say the name of Gauranga. You can't help it, can you? So in this song, can we have the song? I gave enough of a hint what it is. We have the tune that goes with it. It's a haunting tune. It means it'll stick with you. And tomorrow when you wake up at, what time are you going to wake up tomorrow? 3 a.m.? 3 a.m.? You won't mind jumping out of bed because you're going to hear this tune in your head and you'll think, oh, this is so nice, it's so nice, it's so nice. I just want to get up and celebrate. And as we have this tune in the background, I'm going to read the translation. I'm singing news of the greatest happiness. At the place known as Surabhikunj in Sri Navadvip, the marketplace of the holy name has now been opened, and Lord Nityananda himself is the proprietor. Such wonderful things are going on in that blissful marketplace. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is selling the pure holy name wholesale merely for the price of one's faith. Seeing the assembly of devotees eagerly waiting to purchase the name, Lord Nityananda first examines each of them to test their qualification. Then he sells them the name by bargaining for his price accordingly. Oh, my dear friends, if you really want to buy this pure holy name, then just come along with me, for I'm now going to meet with this Nityānanda Mahājana. Thus, you will finally be able to acquire the pure holy name. I will also take my due commission, and in this way, all three of us will fulfill our desires. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is so extraordinarily merciful, accepting only one's faith in the holy name. He bestows the topmost divine bliss. When Nitai sees a tear welling in someone's eye, upon chanting the name of Gaura, He instantly gives his support to that person. Indeed, he bestows all divine opulences. He gives that person genuine realization of the pure teachings of Sri Krishna, as found in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad-Bhāgavatam. While displaying all this inconceivable mercy, he pays no attention to one's caste, material wealth, mundane knowledge, or physical ability. Now, dear friends, please reject all of Maya's entangling snares. If you are a householder, then just remain at your home. If you are renounced, then just live in the forest. Either way, nothing more will trouble you. We no longer need to fear the terrible age of quarrel, for the most merciful Lord Nityānanda gives the holy name to anyone and everyone, even to the lowest among people. Bhaktivinoda loudly calls out and proclaims to all, other than the lotus feet of Lord Nityānanda, there is no shelter. First off, my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master and the founder ācārya of ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I'm singing news of the greatest happiness. I know I just read it, but it's so nice I'm reading it again. At the place known as Surabhikunj in Śrī Navadvip, the marketplace of the holy name has now been opened, and Lord Nityānanda himself is the proprietor. And Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's mission was to open a marketplace in every home. Surabhikunj was the first, but he advised everyone, just as he did Kurma Brahma, Kurma Kshetra. After seeing Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and being in with him for some time at Kurma Kshetra, the main person in town, the Brahmana, Kurma, said, I'm coming with you. And Mahaprabhu said, Grihe tako bane tako. Whether you live in the forest or at home, it hardly matters. Because the main point is, bring everyone to the center of town and show them how to engage in Nam Sankirtan together. Such wonderful things are going on in that blissful marketplace. Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu is selling the pure holy name wholesale merely for the price of one's faith. No tariff. He wants to give it out to everybody. But those who give something in return, this shraddha, means they show some inclination that, yes, let me take this, it's so nice. In the Srimad-Bhāgavatam, there's instruction about those who would go out and distribute the holy name from home to home, town to town, college to college. That Ishvare tadadineshu balisheshu dusatsucha prema maitri kripopeksha ya karoti samadhyamaha. If you see someone that's a little bit open, pour in as much faith, as much mercy as possible. To those who are averse, give them a little time to ripen on the vine, and we should pray deeply that their hearts can change, because by the goodwill of a devotee, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Lord Nityānanda can give special mercy. Seeing the assembly of devotees, everyone please move up. 7.2 standard. Seeing the assembly of devotees eagerly waiting to purchase the name, Lord Nityānanda first examines each of them to test their qualification. Then he sells them the name by bargaining for his price accordingly. Sometimes when we go out, just as we were recently as yesterday, to people in the Dham, where we just were, first Mayapur, then Jagannath Puri, then Vrindavan. And we offer people a little prasadam, a picture of Krishna, in a transcendental literature. And we give them the opportunity. We bargain with them. Say, please give something. They say, I don't have anything. Nothing? Give something. Some people, they'll give some small donation, whatever they can afford. Some people are ready to immediately give something in return, recognizing the value, and they say, I could hardly give enough. Other people are hesitant, but we find, especially in India, everybody has something. We met a man digging a ditch, and all he was wearing was a gamcha. And we suggested that on behalf of Lord Nityānanda, we would accept a donation. And some of the devotees who were watching thought, where's he going to find a rupee? Well, it's in the roll. When you put on a gamcha, you have to roll it. It's in there. And similarly, everyone's got something rolled up somewhere that they can offer. And Lord Nityānanda goes around and he finds, what can somebody give that gets them started in giving? Because as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Jagnar tat kamano nyatra loko yam karma bandhana tadartam karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. Human life is made successful by giving. When we give, we grow, and we notice that not only do we survive giving away what we're so attached to, we feel complete when we give. Paradoxically, we give away and we grow. We feel fuller because the soul is a servant of Krishna. In any way we can serve fills us up immediately. Natural for the soul to feel happy and full. So Lord Nityānanda quizzes each person to see what level they can start their giving. And then he adjusts the price accordingly. Oh, my dear friends, if you really want to buy this pure holy name, then just come along with me, for I am now going to meet with this Nityānanda Mahajan. That line always gets me, because just think, if someone's going there and they say, hey, why don't you come along? What a life-changing event to meet Nityānanda Prabhu, just like Raghunath Das Goswami. He wanted to join Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He was just a youngster in his adolescence. So many times he tried to leave home, but his father sent the guards to bring him back again and again. But after meeting Nityānanda Prabhu and getting his blessing, his endeavor to give his life to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu became successful. Punch. Thus, you will finally be able to acquire the pure holy name. I will also take my due commission. And in this way, all three of us will fulfill our desires. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that anyone who facilitates other people coming in contact with Krishna consciousness becomes very dear to him. What a commission that is. Sri Nityānanda Prabhu is so extraordinarily merciful, accepting only one's faith in the holy name. He bestows the topmost divine bliss. It's the real wealth of life. One develops an inclination towards Krishna and his devotees. Shraddha. Shrad means the heart, and da is an active verb. It means where you place something. So if your mind and heart runs after the holy name when you hear it, you may be walking in some city in the world, like Bahrain or Cincinnati, Or you don't want to give a shout out for your hometown? Coimbatore. Did I guess right? And Pune. You may be walking down the street and all the signs are saying, come in here, buy this, buy that. So many products. Now even in Vrindavan, people are setting up shops to sell the latest styles. But amidst the cacophony of sellers who are calling you to come in their shop, if you hear the chanting of the holy name, and it's the sound you've been waiting for, and it comes through all the noise, and you think, oh, let me be there with those people. I don't need anything else but that. This is the perfection of life, or the beginning of the perfection of life, to be drawn in by the sound of the holy name. When Nitai sees a tear welling in someone's eye upon chanting the name of Gaura, he instantly gives his support to that person. Indeed, he bestows all divine opulences. Evam vratasva priyanam kirtya jatan rago jatachuta uchar hasatyato rotiti roti gayati unmadavam nityati lokabaya. You went too fast, you got to go back. One slide, please. Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Those who begin chanting Hare Krishna, Evam Vrata Swa Priyanama Kirta, will find that speaking the name becomes very sweet, and the name becomes very dear to that person, because the name and the named are not different. They're absolute, perfect. And as one continues to chant Hare Krishna, the heart changes. Ramananda Roy said that the heart is the driver, the chariot is the body. We go to where our heart directs us. And those who take up the process of chanting Hare Krishna experience a change of heart. In fact, the verse I just quoted says, Dhruta chitta uchar. The heart begins to soften, or literally it melts. And with a melted heart, one feels waves of gratitude for Krishna. And in that, sometimes tears come to the eyes. Hairs stand on end. Called horripilation. Means when there's bumps. They call them goose bumps. Sign of fear or great ecstasy. Horripilation. For this, you can go to Home Depot and get a horripilometer and put it on your arm to see what degree of ecstasy you've achieved. And for one who's absorbed like this, Krishna gives all support. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananya chintayonto ma ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhayuktanam yoga kshemam bhamyaham. To the person who exclusively thinks of me, as Krishna recommends in the Bhagavad Gita, Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vaishas yukvaivam atmanam parayanaha. Just become exclusively dedicated to me, fix your mind upon me, become my devotee, bow down to me. For such a person, he says, you needn't worry about anything because I will personally deliver all your needs. So Lord Nityānanda notices when someone says Gora. And you guys already said it, so it's too late. Number 8. He gives that person genuine realization of the pure teachings of Sri Krishna as found in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad-Bhāgavatam. While displaying all this inconceivable mercy, he pays no attention to one's caste, material wealth, mundane knowledge, or physical ability. Yasya Devi para bhaktir yata Devi tata guru tasyaite Śrī prakashanti mahatmana. When one has unflinching faith in Krishna and Krishna's representatives, authorized representatives, then naturally one becomes fully aware of the purpose of life as explained in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Lord Nityānanda especially is denoted as a dosha darshi. Dosha means fault, and adoshi means no fault, and darshi means to see. Lord Nityānanda doesn't see the fault in anyone. He's only looking for one molecule of faith in the holy name. Now, my dear friends, please reject all of Maya's entangling snares. If you're a householder, then just remain at your home. If you're renounced, then just live in the forest. Either way, nothing more will trouble you. We no longer need to fear the terrible age of quarrel, for the most merciful Lord Nityānanda gives the holy name to anyone and everyone, even to the lowest among people. Bhaktivinoda loudly calls out and proclaims to all, other than the lotus feet of Lord Nityānanda, there's no shelter. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Put it on 9. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Amani chadi maya jal, amani chadi maya jal. Grihe tako mane tako nata ke janjal. Grihe tako mane tako nata ke janjal. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda. Told you it would get stuck in your head. And your heart would melt from singing the song. There's nothing like it in the whole three worlds, this song. Nor is there anything like the process of Krishna consciousness. Because what we've been looking for many, many lifetimes and not getting becomes apparent when we chant Hare Krishna. We don't know how we sense that everything is there in the holy name. But Rupa Goswami in his poem about the holy names said, Yadabaso Pyudyan Kavalita Bhava Dvanta Vibhavo Drishan Tatvandanam Drishati Bhakti Pranayanim. That just by being touched a little bit by the holy name, as Bhagavatam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 6th canto is about the protection of the Lord, how he protects his devotees. And what's the main means by which he gives protection to all souls, and especially to his devotees? It's from his name. And Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura writes that the name has come to this world to give shelter to everyone. And Yarabaso pyudyan kavalita bhava tvanta vibhavo. The great darkness of the material world that everyone feels. As soon as you turn the light off, then the darkness envelops you. And without Krishna, without seeing Krishna, without thinking of Krishna, without intending to serve Krishna, we immediately feel unhappy. And we feel overwhelmed by a sense of disorientation, abhinibheshata. We become absorbed in those things that seem like they should work out. And material world seems like a good idea. There's a lot of principles here that shine through, that we endeavor for. But when we ever get there, we seem to ascend, and then suddenly we're plummeted back down into the depths of despair cyclically. In the Gita, Krishna talks about the modes of material nature buffeting us from one platform to the next with no resting place. But those absorbed in the material world are liberated by hearing the sound of Krishna's names. Yadabaso Pyudyan. Which aspect of Krishna's name? The Abbas. Just a little light from the holy name. They may not be aware that there's a science behind the process, but if they're just touched by the ultraviolet rays of the name, it says, Yadabaso Pyudyan Kavalita Bhava Dvanta Vibhoto. That darkness is swallowed up by the power of the holy name. Drishan Tatvandanam, even for those who are completely blind to the truth. In the Srimad-Bhagavatam, beginning 11th canto, it is said, don't worry, in this process of bhakti, you can run with your eyes closed and you'll never trip and fall. Because it's supported by Krishna 100%. If you take to any other process, no guarantee, no traveler's insurance on that. If you miss your flight, if something happens, you're on your own. But bhakti is fully insured. Comes with a complete package. Krishna's backing it 100%. And so he says that the darkness is swallowed up, and those who are completely blind to the truth, they awaken by hearing the holy names of Krishna. In the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, which is a drink, you can drink it. The Srimad-Bhāgavatam is mentioned as a beverage. The very beginning of Bhagavatam says, Nigama kalpataro kalitam palam shukamud kadam mrita drava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam mahur aho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. That you drink this. It doesn't say sit down and study it, although nothing wrong with that. It doesn't say you have to intellectually understand. It says drink it. Drinking means you got to be close to something, close enough to the glass. When you drink a liquid, it goes in, it changes you systemically. The liquid goes in, your body's different, everything's different, body, mind. It's like when you're thirsty, you're dehydrated, and you drink a little water, then suddenly you come alive. So pibata means drink. Drink this. Where did it come from? It's amrita. It came from the mouth of Shuka Mukhad, Amrita Drava Samyutam, and it's a smoothie. You don't even have to chew. It's already blended, and you can just drink it. This is devotional service in general. It's a kind of ambrosial drink. If you've ever had a drink someone gives you, first it's got to be somebody you trust who gives you the drink. Like, what's in it? Drinking's a very intimate thing. You know, get together for drinks. What kind of drinks? That's the question. And then what's in it? It's like you trust the person. They give you a drink, and you drink it. It says, then it has a systemic effect. It's coming from Shukadeva Goswami. He's speaking. It's mentioned also in the 10th canto of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Chutam Harikatamritam. Parikshit Maharaj notices, he says, I'm fasting. I have not slept. And yet, I'm not tired and I'm not thirsty. I haven't eaten anything. But still I'm not hungry. How is that? He said, Chutam harikatamritam. Because there is nectar. Chuta means falling. There's a reservoir of nectar falling from your mouth. And I'm drinking with my ears and it's completely satisfying me. And I don't have time for regular eating and drinking. This is completely satisfying me. So he says, Nigama kalpa toror galitam palam shukamukhadam rita drava samyutam. Drava means it's liquefied. Samyutam. Pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam. The rasa means this nectar of love between Krishna and his devotees. It's intoxicating. So the process of devotional service is drinking in. You sit with others, and so in the material world, people like to sit together. That's why there's bars. Everywhere people want to go. If you go to Japan, there's bars. I saw bars in Vrindavan. New York, mostly bars. Palo Alto, bars. Everywhere bars. Everyone sits there and they want to drink something and feel uninhibited and come to another level. Only problem is they're drinking the wrong thing. Never drink anything that you can light on fire. That's the first rule of drinking. And so if you take a drink that's recommended by the greatest sages, Etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akutobayam yoginam nripanirnitam harirnam anukirtanam. Shukadeva Goswami says, this drink, this is the one, everyone, all the smartest people in the world, they drink this. Quite an advertisement. If you go on Facebook now, everyone's got some new drink. If everything's in this, they say. There's all the other ones, they have a lot, but it doesn't have this. It doesn't have that. It's got to be the right mixture. This is a meal. The whole meal's in the shake. That's the idea. We want that. We want one place. Something semi-solid. You can just drink it down and then you're fine. But the real thing is the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So we have this opportunity to drink all that's been given to us by Krishna in the form of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Shukadeva Goswami from his mouth, and all the activities of devotional service, of which there are myriad. One of them, however, isn't sitting in a room that's too warm without enough air. That's not one that's on the list of 64. Is there enough air in here, or is it just... Okay. And so, I'm going to read to you from the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. We're here biding our time, waiting until the moonrise tomorrow. That's what we're doing. We'll be here all day and all night, waiting. And we'll sing this tune. This is the first verse. Where is it? This is Adi Lila 2, chapter 2. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shiva Ranjani. Top end of Shiva Ranjani. Top end, just like Jagannathashtakam punyam yapatet prayat shiji. And if we can get this up, it's Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Vande Valopi Yad Anugrahat. We're going to sing this together. This is an original verse written by Kaviraj Goswami. Taranana Matagraha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. But we're going to sing it in a raga, because that makes it more palatable, drinkable. Are you ready? First, let's hear the tune. Look at it and sing it in your mind first to the meter, and then we're going to do it all together. Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Bande. Wait. I blew it up for everybody. I ruined it for the whole group. Start over. Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Bande. Balokiyara Nugraha. Harinana Madhaka. Yatam Siddhanta Sagaram. Still didn't get it right, right? Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Bande. Balokiyara Nugraha. Tarenana Mathagraha. Yatam Siddhanta Sagaram. Are you satisfied with that? We can't finish graha at the last. We got to finish. It has to resolve at sa again, right? Sa re. Sing it. Let's hear how it goes. Pressure's on. Saving electricity for Bhadra. You can't end graha and sagaram on the same note. So tarinana mata graha has to be not that. You see, end on graha and end on sagaram, it sounds flat. Try again. Yeah. Better. Let's do it one more time. Wait. Yeah. Now remember, this was written by Srila Kaviraj Goswami 500 years ago. For us. Why do you write something if you don't want people to sing it? But would he imagine that we'd be sitting in such a society as we are now, that we would have been given this verse confidentially by a great ācārya who represented the sampradaya and who brought it to the Western countries? Sing it, remembering this is a great gift that we've been given, insider information about the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Are you ready? No, you're not ready yet. All right. Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Bande. Balokiyara Nugraha. Tarenana Madhagaha. Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. One more time. Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Bande. Balokiyara Nugraha. Tarenana Madhagaha. Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. Hare Krishna. Put the verse back, please. Hare Hare. offer my obeisances to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, by whose mercy even an ignorant child can swim across the ocean of conclusions about the ultimate truth, which is full of the crocodiles of various theories. Purport. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, even an inexperienced boy with no educational culture can be saved from the ocean of nescience, which is full of various types of philosophical doctrines that are like dangerous aquatic animals. The philosophy of the Buddha, the argumentative presentations of the Jnanis, the yoga systems of Patanjali and Gautama, and the systems of philosophers like Kanada, Kapila, Dattatreya are dangerous creatures in the ocean of nescience. By the grace of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, one can have real understanding of the essence of knowledge by avoiding these sectarian views and accepting the lotus feet of Krishna as the ultimate goal of life. Let us all worship Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu for his gracious mercy to the conditioned souls. Krishna Kirtana. That was a little bit kind of a mysterious tune, right? Shivaranjani? Say yes. Yes. It is. It's very mysterious sounding. That's the power of raga, is that we open our hearts. It's universal, melody and rhythm. It's there. It comes from the spiritual world. The sound vibration there is song, it's dance, it's meter. That's why if you play piano for your cat will get up on the piano and put its head there and say, finally, I found some shelter in the sound vibration. If you play a violin, the elephants will come running from the jungle and want to listen. Cows love to hear singing because it's all coming from the spiritual world. It's our nature to be in song. Musicals are closer to reality than other kinds of presentations. And they break out in song. First musical I ever saw as a kid, I hated it. Actually, I did like it. I didn't like anything else. It was the song and music. Julie Andrews. After that, I didn't like him for a long time. Then I realized after I became a devotee, that's reality. Bollywood, right? You break out into song. Everyone breaks out into song in the spiritual world because song, expression of the soul. When you can't hold it in anymore and the overflow has to come out, you sing. Nowadays, people artificially, they try to write a hit song just so they make money, but song is meant to glorify God. And when you glorify God from your heart and you sing, and then you add some rhythm to it that expresses what will you express? The feeling that's flat, something else that comes from rhythm. It's practically inexplicable. It's ineffable. What rhythm does, it lifts us up from the very base of our spine to the top of our head. So when you have that along with the singing the holy names of the Lord, then you get this powerful effect of upliftment. It can't be replaced by any other process. That's why Harinam Sankirtan is advised in this age. People don't have time to read. They don't have time to think. And when they do think, we wish they hadn't a thought in the first place, because Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Hipaduta has predicted at the beginning of Bhagavatam, sages Naimarsanya said in the age of Kali Yuga, men of but short lives are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above always disturbed. And they have really, really bad ideas. So, better sing Hare Krishna. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Kala Tochana. What? No, you're singing with the wrong song up. Second verse. It's nice what you sang, but that's not it. We're still on the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. It starts the same way. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Kala Patojani Brajita. We'll do it again. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Kala. It's the second verse, the one right after we did Tojani Brajita. There you go. Sadbhakta Valiham Suchakra Madhupa Shreni Viharaspadam Karnanam Vikaladvanirvahatune Jiva Madhupragane Śrī Caitanya Dayani Dasa Lila Sudaswa. One more time, everybody. Śrī Caitanya Dayani Dasa Lila Sudaswa Gaur Premanande. Now I'll read the translation, but I feel time nipping at my heels because we have an offering today for the Sankirtan. No, it's tomorrow. Jet lag. There it is. I don't even know what day it is. Okay. My most merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges waters of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. We got to say this together because it's too nice. Right? Yes. Oh, my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges waters of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flowers of singing, dancing and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swans, ducks, and bees. The rivers flowing produces a melodious sound. Purport. Our tongues always engage in vibrating useless sounds that do not help us realize transcendental peace. The tongue is compared to a desert because a desert needs a constant supply of refreshing water to make it fertile and fruitful. Water is the substance most needed in the desert. The transient pleasure derived from mundane topics of art, culture, politics, sociology, dry philosophy, poetry, and so on is compared to a mere drop of water, because although such topics have a qualitative feature of transcendental pleasure, they are saturated with the modes of nature. Pretty good. Therefore, neither collectively nor individually can they satisfy the vast requirements of the desert-like tongue. Despite crying in various conferences, therefore, the desert-like tongue continues to be parched. For this reason, people from all parts of the world must call for the devotees of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who are compared to swans swimming around the beautiful lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, or bees humming around his lotus feet in transcendental pleasure, singing, searching for honey. The dryness of material happiness cannot be moistened by so-called philosophers who cry for Brahman, liberation, and similar dry speculative objects. The urge of the soul proper is different. The soul can be solaced only by the mercy of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Look up solace. And his many bona fide devotees who never leave the lotus feet of the Lord to become imitation Mahaprabhus, but all cling to his lotus feet like bees that never leave a honey-soaked lotus flower. Solace. It sounds nice, that's solace. That's the moniker for Miltel Gita. Solace for the traveling soul. Solace for traveling souls. Brahmanda Brahmate Kon Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach. Everybody's wandering in this world. Every soul is wandering. And, wandering almost is too much, because wandering means that you're aimless, but at the same time, you sort of there's a sense of free will in wandering too, that you've wandered in and wandered out. But there's a little more of a grip on us than that in the material nature that's mentioned in the Srimad-Bhāgavatam. Karmana daiva netrena jantur dehu papate striya pravishta. There you go. Striya pravishta udaram pumsareta kanashraya. Which means we're being impelled by previous activities, or forcing us to move in a certain direction, forcing us. Karmana daiva netrena. And therefore, we're being moved. We don't like to necessarily be moved along, even when we're not in a great situation, right? So, move up. It was a tell. I saw you smiling, and I figured it would fit. Okay, everybody move up. I'm still vegetarian. Yeah, make room for everybody else in Silicon Valley here. We want more people to come in, and they need room. Okay? So, where were we? Solace. Let's hear what solace is.
Solace is a noun, which
means...
be
more dramatic and slower.
Solace.
And more music.
Solace, a noun, which means comfort in grief, that which brings consolation. From a past participle of solari, which means to console or soothe. And from the Proto-Indo-European root, sel, which means to reconcile.
I don't know about you, but I need that. Solace, soothing of the soul. Where do you get it? It's such a rare commodity in this world, if I can put it that way. As people look for solace in scrolling. It's a temporary escape from the tyranny of the mind, the worries that continue relentlessly. People take shelter of intoxication, various kinds. But the fear of being moved on from what we love, we sublimate. And it causes a cognitive dissonance that cannot be overcome by any of the distractions in this world. We have to feel the free light of the spiritual world and hear the sound vibration that emanates from there. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abhadyapi namanyarantasya shonkitaniya shinvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. The Srimad-Bhagavatam says the sound, beautiful sounds, the music of the spiritual world is coming to us. And that gives us solace. Goes in the ear, uplifts the heart. There's intentionality in the sound vibration, and that is, please come back and join us in the dancing of the spiritual world. Don't stay in this dark material world. It's an invitation. So, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu comes to give solace to everybody in this world. It's mentioned in the Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Deyam sada paribhavagnyam abhishtadoham tirtaspanam shiva vrinchi nutam sharanyam Prityartiham pranatapala pabhavti potam Vande Mahapurushate charanaravinam. The Mahapurush is being worshipped. What's that? The Mahapurush. Everyone's a person. We're all persons. But there's a supreme person. When we avoid this truth, we invent many implausible, imponderable philosophical systems to avoid the idea of a Mahapurush, a supreme person. But Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura says, if you accept it, it's the most commonsensical of all sciences to accept life comes from a conscious being. But mostly people deny it. It's a perverse kind of denial one that causes so much pressure that we want to lash out at others. We become territorial over which is our place, which is their place, what other people look like and what they don't look like. And we forget that we're all souls that come from the spiritual world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and gives solace to the whole world through his teachings and through the process of bhakti yoga, through which Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayat Yashavairagyam Jnanam Chayarahaitukam. Those who engage in this simple process of bhakti. It just means chanting the names of God and dancing. And when you want to take shelter, feel free to bow your head on the ground. People are embarrassed to bow before someone else nowadays. They want to maintain their stature and their posture in this world. No one's better than me. But it feels so good, doesn't it? To put your head down in front of Krishna and just say, Krishna, I'm yours. I surrender to you. Whatever you say, that's my directive in life. And so when we get this feeling of solace, this is not unscientific. After all science is ultimately based on what's called swata pramana. You have to discover some source that proves itself. It's like you can't prove that you're alive, can you? I mean, you can say medically, biologically, my heart's beating, and there might be some definition of being alive or dead. But when you wake up in the morning and you realize, now I'm awake, you just know that you're awake and conscious, and the sun's coming up, and you see. And so when you bow your head before Krishna and you feel solace, you know directly that I'm the servant of Krishna. And when you hear the encouraging words of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu saying, yes, this is the goal of life, is to be a servant of Krishna. It's so simple. Everything else is complicated. Trying to navigate the material world and find one's place. When I was in kindergarten, I was trying to figure out where I fit in. And then first grade, second grade, third grade, Steve Swearingen came wearing his jeans flipped up. And I thought, should I do that or not? He was the coolest kid. But if I do that, then everyone's going to think I'm just copying him. But if I don't do it, they'll think I'm a square. That times 10 throughout junior high, high school. And then Krishna consciousness. Just chant Hare Krishna. Be a simple devotee. And I thought, solace. That's easy. I can do that. I don't have to figure anything else out. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives to the whole world this kind of solace through his teachings. And Prabhupada continues, Lord Chaitanya's movement of Krishna consciousness is full of dancing and singing about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. It is compared herein to the pure waters of the Ganges. To what? Which are full of lotus flowers. The enjoyers of these lotus flowers are the pure devotees, who are like bees and swans. They chant like the flowing of the Ganges, the river of the celestial kingdom. The author desires such sweetly flowing waves to cover his tongue. He humbly compares himself to materialistic persons who always engage in dry talk, from which they derive no satisfaction. If they were to use their dry tongues to chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, as exemplified by Lord Chaitanya, they would taste sweet nectar and enjoy life. If I'm not incorrect, at 12:30 we're going to have Artik, which is an offering of various elements. Everything comes from Krishna. Everything exists in Krishna. He's maintaining it all the time. Like fire, it's an element. Earth, there's earth, water, fire, air. So earth, punyo gandha prativyam cha, we offer incense. It's the fragrance of the earth. And then we offer some fire. What else are you going to offer? It's all Krishna's anyway, right? Right? You can't find anything that doesn't come from Krishna. In fact, it's the meaning of the Purusha Sukta. You find in the Vedas, Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksa Sahasrabhat, etc. And there, the sages at the beginning of the universe were taking elements from the universal form of the Lord, offering them back to the Lord. And so that's what we do here in a ritualized form. But it's not ritual, it's an offering from the heart. And then along with that, we accompany it by singing Krishna's names and dancing. Now, if you don't know how to dance, it's not that hard. It's not, it's devotional dancing. It's not sensual, but one of the ways, the simplest ways you can try it, is to put your arms up in the air, straight up, like you're doing a tree pose or something. And when you do that, when you're chanting, it kind of opens up your whole solar plexus, and your heart's in there. Heart needs a little space, right? So open up your heart, and when you chant to the Lord, you can express yourself because you're His beloved. I mean, you're connected eternally, and if there's anybody you ever want to complain to, it's Krishna, because He can actually do something about it. Nobody else can. So if you want to express your heart, if you want to express your gratitude, put your hands up in the air. And then if you watch other devotees, they rhythmically move their feet. Simple steps. It's really easy. Just try it. And then you'll feel happier. So it's a Hare Krishna dance party. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the room a little bit. We'll put all the asanas away. We'll roll up this rug, put the tables away in record time. Then we'll start the artik. And then right after that, it's a couple of announcements. And then we're going to feed everybody, not just here, but in all of the surrounding counties in San Francisco. So call your friends and tell them to get on over here. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for coming early. And don't forget, we're going to do this tomorrow all day long, starting at 4:30 a.m., so be here. Vanchakalpadruscha kripasindhabe eva chapatitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. See you back here in about 1 minute and a half. Hare Krishna. We have announcements before the Nishringa prayer, and a very special Nishringa prayer today that will be led by Brajavas Bhavana. But I want to show you a picture, which you can put up now, because it's an announcement for 2026. There's a way in which many people feel that they'd like to make a contribution to the world, ways to uplift the souls of this world. Practically, stopgap measures are frustrating and futile. They're frustrating because they're futile. But there is a recommendation in the Srimad-Bhagavatam itself that the sound vibration of the Srimad-Bhagavatam is specifically tuned for the people of this age of Kali Yuga. It's said in the Bhagavatam, Anartho pasanam sakshat bhakti yoga madhoksaje ahait lokasya janato ajanato vidvamsh chakre satvata samhita, which means that the incarnation of Krishna named Srila Vyasadeva has come in the Kali Yuga to present the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the most aesthetically pleasing of all the literatures because it directly talks about Krishna and our relationship with Him. Many of you may or may not know that since 2018 we've had a campaign around the world to distribute mass numbers of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam sets. That's all 12 cantos in many different languages around the world. And it's been happening in ever-increasing numbers because those who read the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam have their own personal realization that it's an unequaled literature, but what's more, it's aushadhi, it's medicinal, and those who are being cured by it want to give it to many other people. So it started this year. As in every year, I'm asked to attend the executive branch of ISKCON called the GBC, Governing Body Commission, and by mandate, their first report of the year is to hear how book distribution is going all over the world. So I gave them a report about the various campaigns that are going on, of topmost interest is that of the Bhadra Purnima. It starts the day after Gaur Purnima. And it goes all the way till the full moon in September, called the month of Bhadra. We've been on a journey starting at 7,000 sets of Bhagavatams in 2018 and 2019, and then amazingly during the pandemic we shot up to 24,000. Last year we were able to do over 40,000 sets of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatams. But for the last 5 years we've had a goal in mind that for 2026 we would worldwide distribute 100,008 Śrīmad-Bhāgavatams collectively. No, yeah, go ahead, you can clap your hands. Some may say, and rightly so, Vaisesika Dasa, are you crazy? But it's not my fault. Lord Chaitanya started this, and he asked us to think big. He gave a mission statement, every town and village. That means in every language and all over the world. And Srila Prabhupada set out in an implausible journey that he would come to America alone and distribute the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. That's exactly what he brought with him, and it wasn't even completed by him at that time. Still he pushed on, and even before he left, he asked us to push on, not only distributing, but also completing it. Now it's complete in 12 cantos. I don't know if you listen really carefully right now, you can hear printing presses running all over the world. Because before we left Mayapur, everyone agreed that they would fire up the printing presses. They would make sure that there were 100,008 Śrīmad-Bhāgavatams available on the planet Earth. All we have to do is distribute all of them between now and September. Okay? Yes. No, just say yes, yes. So here we have a few photos of our sign. This sign we're duplicating and we're going to make in all languages, and it's going to go all over the world. Right here we're in front of the Madan Mohan temple in Vrindavan. 100,008, excuse me. I added a few extra there. Keep going. Keep going. Let's see the other photos. What else do you have? Please? Pretty please? That's in front of Jagannath Mandir. This is authorized by Lord Jagannath, by Madan Mohan. Do you have any more? No? Those are the two. We have several more. I didn't communicate it quickly enough to the group here, but we have some from Radhakund. We have some, all the GBC, that is the governing body commission, they all stood with the sign. And we told them afterwards, everyone who took a photo with the sign, that it means that you're involved in the campaign. But we're having them printed on every continent and in various areas around the world. This one's at Vrindakund. And we're going to send one to Antarctica. And I don't know if the penguins are going to hold it or whatever, but we're sending one up there because we're going to cover the earth with Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is the most effective way if you want to be an activist. I have a godbrother who for some reason thinks I should be talking about politics here, there, and everywhere and saying this and that. And speak out, he says. I said, we are speaking out. There's nothing louder than Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And there's nothing more important than spreading the message Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Here's us. That's not it, but that's getting ready for I gave an interview to the ISKCON World Review. But the GBCs stood behind that as well. And so I'm just letting you know, it's not an obligation, but it's an opportunity. For anyone who wants to take the brakes off, and if you've ever thought about making a gamble for Krishna, this is it. Make a pledge to yourself, to your family. We're going to have to step up in a major way to hit the 100,008, but we're going to do it. And we're going to all together offer it to Srila Prabhupada worldwide. It's one world team. Devotees all over the world are going to be involved. So think about it, meditate on it. Get a tattoo on the way home. 100,008. You can put it across your forehead. Your co-workers will ask you when you go to work, what's it all about? And then you recruit them, but it's sweeping the planet. That's Radhakund right there. It was taken by a telephoto lens from the other side of the Kund, in case you were wondering. Thank you very much. And now we have an announcement by Brajaras Bhavana, and then he's going to sing the very deep song written by Jayadev Goswami about Lord Nrsingadev. I hope he's behind me because I'm going to pass it straight back.